Alright, let's talk about this Vortec distributor that nobody seems to like. I got that on the wrong side. But talking about dropping these in and getting them right, well, it's just like setting the old school distributor. We got one right there, the HEI. Get your engine top dead center on the compression stroke. Everybody should know how to do that if you're setting a distributor. I had this one go bad, so I just changed it. I had one in the motor before this. I put this one in, it went bad, and I just stuck another one in there. Well, when I stuck this one in here, as you can see, this comes on and off, and we all know that them don't come off. Well, I beat it off there. Shut up. I took a hammer and I made that come off there, and I wallered out that hole so I could adjust my timing. Well, I got that within under the 2 degrees plus or minus, which is plus or minus between retarded and advanced. That gives you a 4-degree swing only. 2 degrees advanced or 2 degrees retard. So, and you doing that with the scan tool. Now, I know you all want to be able to drop this distributor down in there and be able to tune it by ear. Okay. So when you drop this distributor in there, make sure you knock that off there. Make sure you get rid of that. Do it just like old school distributor. There's a little arrow right there. You're not going to drop this distributor in there and point it somewhere towards number 1 at all. You can't. Because you have the cam sensor in here. So when you set this, you will set this so it's pointing just before that arrow, and then when it goes down into there, it will line itself up to that arrow. I've done it twice now with this and had it basically right on that arrow or real close to it, and I'd be missing and cutting out. That's why I wallered that out, and then I hooked my scan tool up to it to hear my to get the miss away, because I was missing and cutting out. Okay, so I said, why don't I do this with this new one? Yeah, see, we don't need that. So what I did, I took the old school hold down, dropped this in where that was pointing at the arrow, put my scan tool up to it. I was 21 degrees out at first. I used that hold down, it was wallered out, and I got it within 3 degrees retarded, so I was still a degree out of being in spec. So yesterday I started doing some work on the OBS here. I changed wheel bearings, U-joints, did the rear brakes were all oiled up from the wheel seals leaking. I cleaned them up and I adjusted them, and then I went up here to this distributor, and I said, I'm going to get this to work. I want to get this as close as possible. So I got it in there, and I took that other hold down off, and I made sure that I could turn that distributor enough this way and that way. And I know I had to go this way with it. So I took that out, I pulled the bolt, and I was able to turn it. I said, cool. So I was able to pull that hold down off there, and I took my old school hold down and I stuck on there. And I was able to turn it to right where it says on the scan tool. I was like, I'm close as you could get. We're under, a half degree advanced. It was adjusting back and forth, advanced retard, so I was basically right on. Tighten it down, everything's holding. So you want to do it by ear? You can do it by ear now. Just make sure when you drop that distributor in that the rotor button is pointed towards that little triangle that's in there. And if you look on some of these, it will say 8. You'll have an 8 on there, be an 8 cylinder for V8. And then over here we'll say 6 for V6. So these will work for a V6 or V8. But you want it on the side where the number 1 piston's at. You want, because that's where the arrow will be pointing towards the kind of towards number 1 almost. You'll be somewhere right in there. When you drop this in, you want that to be like that. You want to line this up using the hold down and everything, the original hold down. I think. Do you have to? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you want the original hold down on it when you drop that in, and you want to be lined up. So when it lines up with the hold down in there, and then you can take, and once you take that off, what I did to be able to remove that before, once I got it set, where'd I throw it? There's little nibs right here, right there, that will make that press fit onto there. And I just took me a die grinder and ground them down so that way it would slide on and off. And then when I set my distributor in there and dropped it in, I was able to put my bolt in, make sure that was lined up, and made sure that was lined up. Then I was able to pop that off like that and throw my hold down, old school hold down on it, and I was able to tune it in. But you'll be able to tune it in by ear now, and you'll be able to tell when it misses. And you have to get it up to 1,000 RPMs for the crankshaft sensor to read. So if you set it by ear and you don't have the motor at 1,000 RPMs, you go and tighten that down, and then you take it for a ride and you're missing. What the hell? Well, you got to have it at 1,000 RPMs or above to to be able to, for the cam sensor to read. Best thing to do is just go ahead and get a scan tool that does your will do cam position retard, and that's the reading you want on your live data. And I have a video where I was doing all this. It'll be coming out I don't know, a couple weeks or next week. Just keep your eye out for it. Go ahead and subscribe to this, and if you want to see kind of how I was doing it with the scan tool, go ahead and subscribe and hit your little bell and stuff so you can be notified when it comes out. And once again, I'm Duct Tape. Glad you watched this. Hopefully that explains something. If you have any more questions about it, go ahead and send me a comment down there, and I will respond. If need to be, we can email back and forth to help you guys get it set. I think a lot of people's kind of got this figured out on how to set them, but I don't know if anybody really is using the old school hold downs. So now I did take this for a ride, and it did seem kind of sluggish off the line, so I may go ahead and adjust that a little bit. It's more because I have it like dead perfect, right on 0, and I think I'm going to crank it back. I'm going to retard it a little bit, maybe a ½ degree more, make it 1 degree out. So with that, I'm going to get off here and go in the house, relax. I done worked on this OBS for 2 days now. So we'll see y'all on the next one. And if you're new and haven't subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. It's free, don't cost nothing. Just hit that little button, and that's all. You don't, no subscription. It's more like it's just a follow is all it means. It's you ain't paying for nothing. So we'll see y'all.